That shit sounds serious. That shit sounds serious. Very serious. I think I came on too late. Pull it back.
Ready, Nick? Let's get him.
You gotta put the pop filter in front of the mic.
Oh.
Directly in front of the mic.
Right there?
You can move the mic though diagonally if you want to. Like it moves that way. Yeah, you ain't even had to do that. You could have just twisted it.
Oh.
It's good though.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Hold on, let me get a mic check.
You said mic check?
Yeah. All right, we good.
You ready, Nick? Let's get him.
Shout out to THRU.
The ice cream truck we lined up by snow cones. Nowadays we all grown buying from Cold Stone. Years later coming out, he's still on parole. Asking the loan clothes, we now own home loans. Outside the fries and chicken business. Caught Johnny Fish looking like a video game glitching.
That's what I need. I need some more of that music. Shout out to Wordsworth, legendary MC from the legendary, iconic Lyricist Lounge show. Used to appear on MTV. We dug him up. He's a school teacher now out there in New York City, and Dre had been working out with him. So, you know, it was only the right thing to do for me to bring him onto the project. Shout out to THRU and shout out to everybody who's going to appear on my upcoming album, Pillmatic. Nick, you want to give him another little, go ahead. Mm. 100% hip hop. That's what I'm bringing to the table. We've been working on this project for about 7 months now. The wheels are just starting to turn rapidly. Shout out to everybody who's appearing on the album. Yuck Mouth, Noah the Flood, Big Ooh, Sadat X from Brand Nubian, Ito, Willie the Kid, Smooth, Hush Kingpin. Shout out to everybody rolling with the dribble, man. It's been a process, but we getting it done, and we got some fire music for these guys, really. As far as I go, I know y'all been looking for me. I've been working, man. I've rolled up my sleeves, and I've taken on some very, very, very serious fucking tasks, namely the Shaheem Franklin story. I got that. I got the podcast, of course, and this album. The album, I got a couple of deals on the table. Shout out to THRU, man. We gonna come out with a vinyl set, and we currently in talks with Fat Beats right now to get the distribution deal. This is gonna be really, really big. I believe this is gonna be the first of many albums that I come out with THRU. Shout out to all of the Lords of the Underground, putting in that work, man, hitting that booth, and I really appreciate the reception that I got. I'm starting to understand my relevancy in this business, man, based on the perception that I'm getting from this project alone, man. A lot of people, Herb McGruff, Stan Spit, legends have hit me up, and this wasn't even technically that type of album. I didn't want the album to take on the identity of like an old school compilation or anything like that. It was primarily predicated on these new guys from upstate New York and shit like that I've been working with, as well as the guys from Long Island, Hush Kingpin and Smooth. So I wanted to recreate Raucous Records. That's my prime objective, and I want y'all to let me know how I went about recreating this whole era and sound with THRU. And shout out to him again. This past week, it's burning up the fucking internet. Mystikal has got in trouble again for a third time for a sexual assault, a sex-related case. His earliest case goes back to 2003. He had another one in 2016 that he ended up pleading out of. This one right here is very, very touchy, though. I went and I did my homework on it, and come to find out that the alleged victim in this particular assault, he been fucking with her since the early 1990s. She's been with him throughout all of his other sexual assault cases and shit like that. I feel that we got to be very, very careful on rushing to judgment on this one, because the fact that they've been together so long, he got one of his charges is like, I don't know, imprisonment or self-restraint or something like that. When you've been involved with a chick for 20, 30 years and shit, that ain't restraint. That's you telling you, bitch, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that could have been one of those situations like that. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. There was some cocaine involved, or pardon me, there was an alleged white crystalline substance recovered at the scene. The victim is saying that everything was cool between her and Mystikal. She came over to his apartment to discuss some prior financial obligations that he had, and everything was cool until, according to her, Mystikal went into the bathroom for a few minutes and he came out a different person. So A plus B equals C. I believe that she's kind of implying that he went into the bathroom, got to getting high on something, and came out enraged. During the course of this situation, there was an alleged assault. This woman was apparently scraped up some type of way. The police and medics say that her injuries are consistent with a sexual assault, but again, he's been with this chick since the 1990s. I just feel that it's going to require a great deal of scrutiny to get to the bottom of this one. The fact that he keep having these types of cases just ain't good. No way, no how. No one's gonna want to work with him. I'm pretty sure that, the infamy associated with his name turns a lot of people off. Women feel that they can't be fucking safe around him and shit like that. According to his lawyers, he had a whole lot of upcoming shows that he had to cancel due to this situation, where the judge declared that he was a no bail situation. So yeah, Mystikal, he has no bail. He's being detained, pretrial confinement, and we're just gonna have to see how it goes. But as of right now, I don't know how I feel about this one, because he's been involved with this chick since the early 1990s or something like that. And the fact that you was with him through all of his prior sexual assault cases and incidents and shit like that, that don't make me feel that just doesn't give me any indication that you're afraid of him or anything like that. If you stood by him throughout this type of behavior prior, and now you alleging that it's happened to you, I just don't know how I feel about that. I do know that, scorned women, they do a lot of rotten shit, and this possibly could have been her way of removing him from her space. You know what I'm saying? She knows his history. I know where to fucking get you out my hair if I call and say this. So as of right now, he's been confined, and that might be the open and shut situation, man, on Mystikal's legacy. Just too many sexual assault cases, man. He don't have the situations like R. Kelly where the victims were, choosing to go confine themselves with this nigga. He got something totally different, man, like a Darren Sharper situation, if you're familiar with the NFL. But yeah, it's just ugly. Getting back to my upcoming album and why it was necessary. I'm not an MC. I'm not a rapper. I never was good at it. I believe at a point in my life I might have tried it, but it was never nothing that was going to happen for me. I am a basketball player, however, and I'm in touch with a lot of pro athletes, and my travels bring me in contact with a lot of the hotter MCs on the rise. If you're familiar with my platform, you see what my platform give birth to. One day, I got a regular MC out of Buffalo, New York that I'm working with, and the next day he's Benny the Butcher. poof, just like that. Same thing with 38 Special out of Rochester. Working with the guys out of the Rock, poof. Rome Streets out of Brooklyn, another underground guy, went on to do great things. So if you in tune with music, and then if you in tune with trends, and you in tune with the cool table, you should 100% be in tune with this upcoming project. This is gonna be a first of its kind, in my opinion. I don't think no media outlet ever moved to actually produce a real tangible production. Again, I'm going as far as tapes, vinyls, and shit that you could play in your home, not just a digital experience. I chose to work with THRU because of our chemistry. We had been working together a long time. I met him during the RJ Payne, during the time when he was plugging him up. That's my opinion on it. RJ Payne was once known as Rain Man out of Philadelphia, primarily like a battle rapper, got a lot of lyrics and shit like that. PA got him off and running with a series of mixtapes, The Ghost of Big Pun, The Ghost of Prodigy, The Ghost of Big L, all produced by PA. I was, in close proximity of those projects when he was putting them together, and I respected his work ethic. After that, I called him in to do the score, and give me some background music for my Haitian Jack Speaks projects, Haitian Jack Speaks 1 and 2, and he ultimately ended up recreating Against All Odds, the Tupac track, because I can't use Tupac's track. It's copyrighted. It belongs to THRU. He recreated me an Against All Odds, and from that point on, I knew that he was very, very gifted with music, and just somebody that I had a strong chemistry with. As far as the MCs, everybody that you're gonna hear on this album, they 99% of the time appeared on in front of my camera. A lot of people was hitting me up. I got a crazy response from dudes hitting me up, sending me music like, yo, I'm trying to get on the album. Respectable guys, but they hadn't made it to the point of appearing on my platform yet. So it's some uniform. I do this in uniform. It's a couple of steps, you know what I'm saying, to get to a point where I'm investing money in you. The guys that's on this album, I did invest money into this album. I solicited Big Rube from the Dungeon family for the intro. And a few of the guys to get things, the digital art, I handled that. I got merchandising. I paid for that. And I'm ready. I hopefully we release around back when time for school, when people going back to school, high school and college, September, Labor Day, shit like that. Try to hit y'all with this project, this masterpiece. The New York City Point Guards documentary. I'm glad that all of this is going on while my album is about to drop. Shout out to Skip to My Lou. If you watch the New York City Point Guards documentary on Showtime, you seen my basketball shorts. You seen Rayful Alston wearing my basketball shorts. Make sure you go to my website, www.therealdribble.com, and get fly. Get you some luxury basketball shorts. Getting back to the New York City Point Guard documentary. I loved it. I did a live stream critiquing it. And it was just, in my opinion, a little bit of constructive criticism. But all in all, I loved it. Two things, though. Number one, I don't ever recall people of my generation associating Kenny the Jet Smith with being a point guard, even though he was a point guard. If you ask people who was the point guard of the Houston Rockets back then, they probably gonna say Sam Cassell, because he did more point guard caliber shit. Ran the pick and roll, penetrating dish, point guard shit. Kenny the Jet Smith, if you remember highlights of him, you're gonna remember a guy hitting 3-pointers, hitting some big buckets in the NBA Finals for the Houston Rockets, and participating in the dunk contest. When you say point guard, especially NYC point guard, we're looking for a specific level of showmanship. And to leave somebody like Ed Booger Smith out of that documentary was a crime. And now you heard, I had people in my comments saying that, well, Booger, he didn't make it past the streets. That's cool. there's a lot of guys that didn't make it past the streets. Earl Manigault, he didn't make it past the streets. It's called, the title of the film was New York City Point Guards. And I would think that this is describing excellence that was rooted and birthed in New York City. Booger was one of the guys who was birthed and rooted and flourished in New York City from the point guard position. Um, if you select somebody like Kenny Smith and bring him to a discussion about being a point guard, I want to ask who he was dishing the rock to, who he was dishing the ball to. I mean, goddamn. I mean, just think about it. When you talk point guards, they normally got a co-defendant. Magic, Worthy. You feel me? Isaiah Dantley, Isaiah Aguirre, Mo Cheeks, Dr. J, Mo Cheeks, Moses Malone, Doc Rivers, Dominique Wilkins. They come in pairs and shit like that. I just didn't see Kenny Smith having that type of effect on the game. I know that he was tall. All of those guys are tall, by the way. I've interviewed everybody that appeared on that documentary. I've met in real life, and except for Kenny the Jet Smith, all of those guys are very tall. All of those guys are very big. The difference between a regular person and an NBA player definitely is size. I just put that out there. It's not about your talent. They'll find someone who can do as good as you, who's bigger. So that's the harsh reality of basketball. But all in all, the New York City Point Guard documentary, I appreciate the climate that is setting for the release of my project, because I am a basketball player. You dig what I'm saying? And I did go places with the pill. It affected my life and shit. And that's what inspired the title, Pillmatic and shit. I put some P on the front of it. You dig? And I hope that this is going to be one of many. I was looking at DJ Khaled today. He has a new record dropping with Drake and someone else. And I'm looking at it and shit. I'm like, man, this dude don't do nothing. This dude don't do nothing. I'm like, what the fuck does this dude do? He don't rap. He don't scratch. He don't do nothing. At least I have a skill set. This guy was created, DJ Khaled, because people giving him dope ass records. Just put them in his lap. Here, dope ass records. So as I start my mission, I plan to give y'all more than just dope ass records. I plan to give y'all an entire experience and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, all in all, I know it's been around a minute since I've been on here recording with the on the actual podcast. It's because I've been busy, man. I've been busy trying to find perfection. I'm looking at the complexion of the internet and how it's changing so fast, so fast. Every day there's a new person online, there's a new podcast online, there's a new person coming on the internet with this dream of blowing up. And I'm watching this shit. I'm watching people imitate my style of media. I'm watching people put out similar titles and shit like that. And I'm just stuck on trying to find a way to make my shit better and keep my shit more polished than the rest. So that's why the podcast might seem to be moving at a certain pace. It's because I want it that way. It's because I want it that way. I don't get caught up into the latest topics and shit like that. A lot of people that got killed within the last couple of weeks, Jada Youngin, and it's always a niggerly topic that's trending. I don't want that shit on my platform. It happens all too often. I don't want this to be the platform where you come and get that style of media. So I often overlook a lot of shit in my quest to give y'all something a little bit more potent, and that's what it is. I was looking at some videos on YouTube between the cities of New Orleans, Philadelphia, and New York. And I just have to point this out, and it's bad. It fucks with me. So many of the drill rappers are former basketball players. So many of the drill rappers are former basketball players. I watched so many documentaries, man, and so many pieces on this little drill culture that's going on in the world. And the victims he always has an old basketball picture. There's always someone on there saying, man, he was dead nice, or there's people in the comments saying, man, he wasn't even that type of person. Them niggas got to acting like that within about 18 months. I see that often. Let's get back to protecting the basketball players. A lot of ball players been getting killed in the inner cities. It just needs to stop. Violence in totality needs to stop, man. But there was a time when basketball players was fucking protected. If you watched the New York City Point Guards documentary, it's well known that there was some high profile street figures close to those basketball games and those players and shit. You know what I'm saying? Who acted out as a shelter and made sure everything was all right and shit. You know what I'm saying? Pillmatic, my album is a dedication to the ballers and shit. Word up. Everybody who ever used this basketball, man, if this ball ever touched your life and shit, I'm going to provide y'all with a dope-ass soundtrack to work out with, to smoke to vibe to, courtesy of THRU. I'm about to get up out of here. I only came through in for a minute because after this little brief recording right here, I have to record some vocals for the album. So shout out to Nick. Nick, can I get another leak before I get up out of here? Yeah, go ahead and get these niggas something. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, The Real Gully TV, hip hop, sports, and fashion. Follow me on Twitter at GullyTV1. And of course, Instagram at IamGullyTV_. Fuck with your boy. I'm keeping this shit hip hop, sports, and fashion. Shout out to Shaheem. The documentary is coming soon. Shaheem on the album too. I know I'm forgetting some people. If I forgot your name, I apologize. But we gonna deliver this shit. We gonna win, and we gonna keep winning. Nick, I appreciate you, man. Dribble me up out of here.